anyways, I thought I would have been back here sooner, but this last week I really was locked into not only work, but I went for a really long walk. Like, I'm talking like at least 6,000 steps, but one day I did over 10,000. Yeah, just really long walks in the evening, and it did so much for me. Like, I was able to get to sleep before midnight. Freaking Friday morning, I woke up at 6:45 without an alarm. That's crazy. And I just, like, I had a really good day. Like, I felt like my energy feels better when I'm able to move. And the only reason I wasn't moving throughout the winter is because I just didn't want to go to the gym. Like, I was just like, I don't know. But again, now that the weather is nice, I am out there, girl. I'm walking. I mean, most days I just kind of like walk to the dispensary, but still, that is a trek. Today I went and I got myself a little booster juice for breakfast. This is a strawberry sunshine. I think this is only a Canadian thing, but booster juice is really awesome. If you ever are in Canada, try them out. I like Ocean Mist too, and all their matcha drinks are good. So I've been wanting to talk about a million different things, but I just kind of wanted to like wait and kind of let all these threads of energy play out and see like where we were gonna go with this conversation. And actually, so I have a lot of tarot decks, but I wanted to get more oracle decks. So I got this Shakti Wisdom Buddha deck. I felt like drawn to Buddha since I was a little girl. Like, I started reading about Buddhism when I was probably in like grade 6. And when I was in university, actually, like my major was like communications, like journalism, but the school I went to, you had to take, you know, like all your electives and whatever. So I took a few like religious studies classes, and I took one on Buddhism, and my teacher was this like tall, skinny white guy from like New Orleans, and it was Mardi Gras, and he came in like throwing beads at all of us. Oh my god, that was such a fun class, and I really did learn a lot. But yeah, I like a lot of the philosophies of Buddhism. I like the philosophies of like a lot of different religions in general, and I kind of just like mix them together into what feels most aligned for me. I don't think that there's any right or wrong. Overall, I think the basic principle is do no harm but take no shit. That's kind of just what I live by. Anyways, and then I also got this random Messages of Life deck, which I had no idea what was going to be in here, but I've been liking decks like this. So yeah. Anyway, so I shuffled those, and pretty much everything that I wanted to talk about, like all my life experience, was like translated through these cards. So I think maybe I'm going to talk a little bit first, and then I'll start talking about the cards, which kind of like the last reading the last tarot reading I did, not the last video I posted, but the last time I read cards for you guys, I talked about, I think I just kind of talked about my life, and then I like used the cards to like bring it all together, I guess. So there's like tools here and stuff. So this is good. We're finding solutions. I'm a very solutions-oriented person. So my job, if you don't know, I am an editor for, and I'm like 5 different websites. So I'm like the trending news editor of the SEO team, and web stories. Okay, so basically, like, when I'm not here talking to you on YouTube, like, my job is to kind of look at like what's happening in the news, and then I have 5 different websites that I create content for. I have a team of writers. Actually, I manage about like 9 people now, I think. And yeah, so I just kind of work with the editors of each of the websites and like help create content that's gonna like boost us on Google Discover and Google Search. So did I finish journalism school? No, but I've worked in this industry like on and off since I was 18, and this job just kind of fell into my lap, and it's been like it's probably one of the biggest blessings of my life, actually. It's a very, very good opportunity, and it's taught me a lot, and there have been some like frustrating things, but one of the most frustrating things is on its way out. It's been a very long, like 6 months of dealing with it, but it's coming up ASAP. You know how I know this? They brought back Oreo cakesters. I've been asking them to do that for a very long time. And so I know God is hearing my prayers, at least on some level. So the websites are mostly like they're about like Black culture, right? And obviously I'm a white person, but still I'm qualified for this job, and so, you know, they're happy to have me. They love me. In fact, actually, they keep giving me more responsibility because I fucked around and I'm too good at my job, you know? So I'm like, oh fuck, I have a million things to do. I have a never-ending to-do list. So I'm just trying to get good at balancing my energy between like, because I have a 29-hour-a-week contract, and I wouldn't be surprised if they offered me a full-time position. Not saying I'm like looking for that, but I mean, if the opportunity was there, yeah, sure, I'd take it. Because like until King Henry is ready to like settle down and start having kids, you know, I'm like, oh, I might as well use my brain for like this to create something and like help build something really good, you know. Like I feel good about the work that I'm doing, and I love that, because for a really long time I was managing a health site where like my bread and butter was people like Krishan Rock and Blueface and like Megan Thee Stallion shaking her ass, and I'm like, okay, like on some level, you know, this is kind of like, wow, like all the world's a stage, like it's entertaining, but I'm like, this is low vibrational, like no one is gaining anything from this. Whereas like right now we're doing like a whole bunch of articles about like different health issues that are like, they target, you know, people in the Black community more, and then just kind of writing like recipes that like help with those, you know what I mean? It's just like we're adding value. That is a big thing. Okay. Yeah, okay. So anyways, so it's about Black culture. And so one of the things that my boss's boss had asked, he flagged that in DC there is this like Black Lives Matter Plaza in Washington DC is being repainted. I guess Trump or like someone within his administration is like threatened to like withhold funding if they don't repaint this, and so like, you know, people are upset, whatever. And the mayor who like agreed to it is Black, so I'm like, there's layers to this, right? So I'm like, obviously like we're reporting on it, whatever, like this is interesting news. But what is like becoming very obvious to me more and more, like how it was shown to me the other day, is within society there are just in the air around us, okay, there's this energy, and this energy is like made up of like the collective pain bodies of like every human on the planet, right? So like in your ancestral lineage stuff, it goes for 7 generations, so it's like whatever your great whatever, you know, like 7 generations back, whatever those people were experiencing, you were going through. So like on my end, I know that like there's just like a lot of mistreatment of women in my family for sure, and on my mom's dad's side, that's where I have like indigenous ancestral lineage. So like I don't know if any of my ancestors went to like like residential schools, or like how those sorts of traditions were like pulled out of them. Like interestingly, my great-great-grandpa married like my great-great-grandma, and she was very, very, very Catholic. Like literally had my grandma home at like 9 p.m. every night to say the rosary or whatever, like even on weekends. And yeah, and I mean like I even literally feel that in myself, because like oh my gosh, sorry, I can't remember if I told you guys, but like I got a rosary for myself for my birthday, and it's so pretty. It's just like green. I got it from Ireland, and it has like a little crucifix on it, and on the back it says, "Behold this heart which is so loved men." And because that's what it's all about, is love, okay? And that's what we're gonna come to realize. And I forgot to tell you this, but one thing that I heard in my head while I was shuffling my cards is that right now we are building the root chakra of a new earth. And I know I totally just went on a tangent, but we're gonna go back to collective pain bodies in a second. But because I have gone through that process, and I have personally like worked on developing like the energy in each of my chakras, like I can probably, if I were to sit down and actually like write this out, I could tell you like all the points in my life when I was working through these different energy systems, and how like, I mean, when I was 10 years old at church camp, I had a crown chakra activation. Like I know this for a fact in retrospect now, but like as an adult, you know, like even just within like the past 3 or 4 years, I've been on this like really like literally it's a sacred journey. Like I have been anointed, and I have been like working with all of my energy. Like I spend a lot of time alone just working with my energy, and now I'm at a point where it's like, okay, I've done this enough that like I feel called to like share it with the world, and obviously like people are tapping in and listening, so serving a purpose. So back to collective pain bodies. So whenever something happens like this, like, you know, they repaint Black Lives Matter Plaza, that is a big poke at the Black collective pain body. In America, when they were taking away like abortion rights and stuff in certain states, like I don't even know all the ins and outs of that whole situation, but I just know that was a huge poke at the feminine collective pain body, that like, I'm not even American, but seeing my fellow women dealing with stuff like this, big poke at the collective pain body. Here in Canada, they're always, you know, coming up with like unearthing old residential schools where they're finding like hundreds and hundreds of bodies of like missing Indigenous children. That is a big poke at like the collective pain body that like my ancestry is tapped into, right? Like even if I honestly don't know if there was any like residential schools or anything like that, but there was still like that like what I was trying to say earlier is like that tradition of whatever my great grandpa did, like, you know, maybe he probably kept some of that alive, but it was like my great grandma like married that with her Catholicism, and then it was like if I look at my grandma and my mom, like they leaned more into the like Catholic like fear side, you know what I mean? Whereas, well, my grandma's kind of like, she's a really nice like garden and stuff, and she plants lots of stuff, so like, you know, she's kept that alive. But I think like it's really come back through me. Like I've been able to channel a lot of those like natural practices through, like even sometimes like I'll just go out in the backyard and like sit barefoot, you know what I mean? Like grounding and just like being in nature and really like connecting to like spirit and stuff like that. Like I feel like that is my ancestors like channeling through me, even if I don't know everything about them. And I don't know fully like on my dad's side what's tea. I feel like I'm probably just like British, Irish, you know, whatever. But anyways, okay, so collective pain bodies, right? And so these are consistently being poked, right? And so the issue is that instead of acknowledging even that like what is happening, like when George Floyd was murdered, huge poke at the Black collective pain body, right? And ever since then it's just continually been poked. And then so that is like so as an outsider, my perspective of maybe like what Trump and like the administration are trying to do is like from a higher perspective, okay? This is not me saying that like I agree or disagree with anything. This is just me being a journalist, me being a curious person and observing, okay? I don't want any like hate or negativity in the comments when I say things, you know, like I'm expressing myself. If you don't agree, that's okay. But we're gonna get to like, you know, what you can do when you don't agree with someone instead of lashing out at them. I don't know. I don't want hate or negativity in my life. Anyways, okay, so what I'm seeing when I rise above and I look at this from a higher perspective while I'm eating my Oreo cakesters, I'm looking at this and I'm seeing, okay, what is happening is they want everyone to be on a level playing field, because like we're constantly like when we're poking at these collective pain bodies, we're like triggering victim mentalities, you know what I mean? Like people, because they're not going inward to heal those wounds of like ancestral trauma. It's like they're going outwards and they're getting angry and they're playing the victim, and victim cards are declined in a new earth. Like it doesn't work like that, right? So these pain bodies are going to keep getting poked until people realize, oh, I need to go inside and I need to do the work. Like a really weird way that I see this, I've really noticed this in the last few years, but like when people are, and like, so like with Black women, like obviously you have the feminine collective pain body, you have the Black collective pain body. Those are two very heavy ones to carry, okay? But it really hurts me when I see like Black women being like, Black men should only love Black women. Why can't anyone just love anyone? You know, like why are you, if that's your personal preference, if you want to marry a Black man and have Black babies, do that. If you are an Asian person and you want, like if it's important to you to really carry that ancestral lineage forward, do that. But why does it matter to you what other people do? That is the collective pain body speaking. That is not you. That is your ancestral trauma trying to promote segregation. It doesn't need to be that way. It doesn't work like that in a new earth. Like, it really does hurt me, you know what I mean? Like, I think about it, like, I'm like, if I end up with King Henry, then, like, I'm gonna be a white woman with a Black man. And I'm like, I don't want to be condemned for that. Like, just because I fell in love with someone, like, sorry, I can't help it. Oh, who's calling me? My psychiatrist. I think he thinks I don't have my Vyvanse, but it's because he forgot to send my prescription. But the pharmacist actually wrote me a 6-day prescription, which was like epic of him. So, and I haven't even taken it yet today. So, don't sweat it, Dr. Voodoo. It's fine. I've been listening to Elvis all morning. Sorry, this video is a mess, you guys. So we're gonna talk about cards now. But yeah, that's just kind of how I feel about like collective pain bodies, right? And like let's use the cards to talk about this. Okay, so first of all, we have like the Buddha Shakti wisdom. So I have another deck too, like the Kali Oracle, and Kali is the first card that came out here. And so she's the goddess of time. So she says, conquer ignorance and delusion through helping others. So a really, King Henry, again, Black man, voted for Trump. I'm not political. I don't vote, okay? But so that's just, he told me like that's how, but anyways, so one day, like after the election, whatever, he was helping like some old lady with something or whatever, and she just started talking about, she's like, oh my god, I can't believe Trump won. Anyone that voted for him was an idiot, blah, blah, blah. This man was literally out of the kindness of his heart just helping this random old woman. And then she, not even knowing, not even thinking that for some reason, you know, it felt a line for him to vote for Trump, she just like was battering him, you know what I mean? And then like he was telling me about that after, he was like, yeah, like I don't know, I felt kind of weird about it. I was like, I would too, because like you were just helping someone like out of the kindness of your heart. Like that reminded me of like one time last summer I was going for a walk and I had a bottle of water with me and I hadn't drank it out of it, and I saw like a person, so like kind of where I live, like there's like my neighborhood, and then there's kind of like this little, I call it the swamp, but it's not a swamp, it's like a cute little walking path. Anyways, so like down here in the swamp, like by this like trees, there was like this woman and she had these two really cute dogs, and again, it was a super hot day out. I had this water I hadn't drank in. I was like 20 steps from home, so I was like, hey, like would you like this bottle of water, like for your pets or for you, like it's a really hot day out. This woman looked at me like I had like personally offended her. She's like, I'm a wicked witch of the west, like you better be careful, blah blah blah. And like she's like, lady, if you poison that water, I was like, the bottle is sealed, it's yours if you want it, like I just want to help you, I'm just trying to connect. And like she had those blockers up, like that fear, you know, and like that's like a really ridiculous example, but when you compare it, like King Henry, my man, literally just trying to help this random woman because he felt called to, and then she just had her fear blockers up. She was living in resistance. She wasn't able to receive, you know, because she, even if she was able to receive and like, you know, even if she was kind, like it wasn't necessary for her to like say those things just because she was in fear, because then she's just putting more of that out there, and it's just like, I don't know, it's not good. But yeah, like just thinking about that hurts my heart. Like I'm like, wow, like why would you treat my man like that? Anyways, so the next card is the red Dakini. And actually, it was when I saw all the red on these cards that I heard that we are building the root chakra of a new earth. So the root chakra is kind of the hard part. But it's like it involves a lot of discipline, you know, and like actually that's kind of why I feel like I'm being like a Jillian Michaels in a new earth, because again, I've been through this process. I have trusted the process and it has worked for me. I have done the work, and so I know how to lead by example, and leading by example, I do that best when I am disciplined, when I am like you know, motivating other people to show up as their best self, when I'm holding others accountable, when I'm holding myself accountable, when I'm living with my mind, body, and spirit aligned. I wasn't living like that for a while, so was I qualified to give you advice? I wouldn't listen to someone who isn't walking the talk, but I'm walking the talk, baby cakes, so if you want to tap in, I have some good advice here. So this card, and this is a 5 as well. 5 is like when change happens. It says love is the most powerful force of all. So until people realize that, until they realize like, you know, like what if instead of getting all hostile when I offered that woman water, she was like, oh my gosh, like, well, here, do you want to pet my dogs, you know? And like after like I was very Christ-like, you know, I just like, I stayed calm and whatever. And we did have like a nice conversation, and then it seemed like, you know, she actually did want me to stay and talk, but because she had gotten hostile and whatever with me, I was like, okay, I need to like get out of this situation and just, you know, like back away slowly, but like be nice and whatever. But yeah, because she had put those blockers up, I was like, okay, suddenly I'm not interested in connecting anymore. Like I felt called to do something, to serve you, to help you, and you were resistant to it. You didn't know how to receive, and that's because some people are too scared to receive. But live with your heart chakra open. Give and receive freely. And some people, they don't want to receive because they've only been given things, like if there's a catch to it, you know what I mean? Like someone will give them something, but it's like, okay, well then now since I did this, you have to do that for me. I'm not like that. If I give you something, like it's because I'm generous of spirit. It's because I have a sacred heart. Like it's because I want to share with you. And yeah, people are skeptic. Even the song that came on, the Elvis song, Suspicious Minds. So Elvis is the first dead celebrity I channeled, and so I was listening to him like crazy a few months ago. But like the lyrics to this song, like it was really shown to me like this period of like me and King Henry not being together. Like it's literally so that I can heal my suspicious mind, because if I'm over here doing the work, why can I not trust that he's over there doing the work too? we're just on separate journeys right now, and then we're gonna come together and we're gonna be a fucking force. Wait on it. He was in my dreams last night, and whenever he's in my dreams, I know he's trying to pull on our red string of fate, because a few months ago I was dreaming about him, and I texted him like first thing in the morning to tell him. He's like, oops, did I do that? And I'm like, what did you like drunk dial my subconscious? Yeah, you did. He's like, oh, like, no, I wasn't drunk. So I know he's intentionally intending over there. I don't know, I'm like, it's very Shakespearean what's unfolding in my life, and I like that. Like, I don't want like I don't want like a we met on Tinder. I want a we met on Tumblr. And I forgot to tell you guys, they deleted my Tumblr blog, and then they resurrected it, like literally out of nowhere. It was just terminated. I was in the middle of like posting, like going on like a posting spree of like positive stuff, and then my blog was just like terminated. I was like, what? And then I was kind of like, okay, well, maybe I'm just supposed to lock in and focus. But then the next morning it was back. Like, I sent them an email being like, hey, like, I don't understand what happened, because I'm just trying to build something beautiful here. And then they gave me my blog back. So, and the last time that happened is when King Henry and I reconnected. So I'm just, you know, all kinds of signs and synchronicities. So wait on it. Wait on it. Maybe, I don't know. Anyways, okay, number 16, we have Buddha, Guardian of the North. Cultivating a well-rounded personality brings fearlessness. So if you are afraid, it's probably like if you are sensing lack in the external world, it's just because like there's a lack within you, and you can fix that by like making yourself again a more well-rounded person. So like, first of all, if you don't know how to like cook for yourself, if you don't know how to do laundry, if you don't know how to do the basics of life, great place to start. Start by like, you know, learning about things you're curious about. I mean, I do this all the time. Like, it's literally my job, right? Like, every freaking day I'm reading all kinds of shit and learning all kinds of new shit. Like, I shouldn't call it shit, it's valuable information, but like, I'm always expanding my mind. And so I'm never in lack. I don't mind if I have to go somewhere by myself, because if someone comes up to me and starts talking to me, like, I'll probably be able to find some sort of way to connect with them, because I'm a well-rounded individual. I'm a multifaceted ass bitch. I contain multitudes. So how can you cultivate a more well-rounded personality? Consider that. And like, usually fear just comes from like a lack of understanding. So if you develop a better personality, maybe you'll have a higher tolerance for others, because you'll have a better understanding of yourself. And this is what we're going for. This is union and compassion. It's about being masculine and feminine at the same time. So this says, lovemaking can bring wisdom and compassion or mire us in lust. And I'm just going to say that there is a gooning problem on planet Earth. It is real bad. I used to contribute to it fully, but like now I'm just like, okay, no, that is not a good use of my beautiful, that's your Shakti energy. That is your life force energy, and you were giving it away. You were giving it away freaking like trying to gain stimulation, because it's like the regularness of life is just too fucking much for you, as Christopher Moltisanti was said. You just like take a deep breath and like even just start with like 15 minutes a day being more present in the moment, and then slowly build on that. And sometimes like if you have a gooning problem, dude, go for a walk. Get your hands out of your pants and go for a walk. Go to the gym. Like, start doing productive things. Give yourself a little project so that you don't feel the need to just like scroll on social media and then you're like, oh my god, a girl in a bikini with giant bazongas, let me pull my dick. Like, cut the shit. Cut the shit. Like, I have people, I'm over here posting like 30-minute videos of me spitting divine prophecies here, and they're like, oh, can you go back to doing OnlyFans? What? Why would you not tap in over here? Much more interesting. Anyways, okay, so we have 2 more cards from Buddha. And so we have Karma Dakini, and this is Green Buddha Family of the North. I don't know what that means, but it says replace envy by focusing on your accomplishments. So that goes back to like becoming more well-rounded, right? So if you're jealous of someone else, cut the shit. Be like, okay, they've done that. What have I done? What have you done? Like, actually, we had, like, every month I do, like, a meeting with, like, my web stories writers, right? And so I put together, like, you know, a nice little presentation of, like, oh, this is what you guys did that performed really well. Like, this is kind of, like, what we're going to try out this month. You know, these are kind of some things I would like you to focus on when you're creating, whatever. But at the end of it, we had, like, 15 minutes left, and one person had asked me, like, you know, like what's a good way to like display our work, or like if I wanted to like, you know, send my work to someone else, because traditionally like our article people, you know, like they have like, I have like an author page on like every website with all the articles I've written, but like these web stories work like a bit differently. So I just showed them like my portfolio, which like I built using Wix or whatever like years ago, and I don't even have it published right now, but like it's something I put a lot of work into, and like looking back at it, like it's like a very good reflection of like all these creative projects I've done. And it's like if I were to send that link to someone, they could just open it up and see and be like, wow, like this girl is really smart and really creative, and like she knows what she's doing, and she's done a lot, right? So it's like maybe you need to empower yourself in like building something like that. Like if you're not a creative person, like maybe it can just be like updating your resume, or like updating your social media to like better reflect like the person you're trying to be, if like that's a tool that you're using to like build an audience or like create a collective or whatever. And my motto lately, literally the theme I did for the March PowerPoint for my web stories writers, I did like a tiger print, whatever, and they all loved it actually. And I told them, I literally said, I was like, yes, it's like stay dangerous. It's like you have to like keep that animal instinct. So then this card came out. So this is the universe fucking backing me. How we are building the root chakra of a new earth. Staying dangerous, being on purpose, being grounded, knowing we are safe. Trusting that animal instinct, knowing, because humans, we've become so like lost in like the soft bodies of our flesh. Like people love to sit around and watch Netflix and like get the fuck up and go for a walk, get outside. Nobody wants to get up and fucking work these days, or whatever Kim Kardashian said. I don't know, but no one's really, I shouldn't say no one, okay? There are people out there doing the work, but like I get so disempowered sometimes when I scroll on social media and I'm like, damn, do you bitches ever have a good day? Do you? Because it seems like a lot of you just wake up and abuse substances. And I'm like, damn. Like, give it a shot. Give love a shot. So this is Durga, the warrior goddess. She's the dispeller of darkness. So you become a warrior to dispel the darkness. It's true, because like if my mind, body, spirit, if one of them falls out, I'm not staying dangerous. And then it's easy enough for me to go and fucking goon. To go binge eat. To go watch a whole whatever on Netflix. Speaking of which, this is going to be a different video, but I watched Plankton the movie on Netflix last night. And I love, first of all, that the whole premise of the movie is just Plankton realizing the value of the divine feminine in his life, which is Karen the computer, his wife. He's like, he's been trying for 25 years. He's like, oh my god, like I'm gonna achieve world domination on my own. And then finally, after 25 fucking years, he's like, you know what? I can't do it without the help of my lady. We have to work together. That's what A New Earth is all about. A New Earth is Mary's revenge. I have to make a whole other separate video about that, because we're already almost at 30 minutes and I still have more cards to talk about. But yeah, that's another thing I'm really excited to share. Okay, these are those messages of life. So you have to be able to welcome happiness. You have to be able to receive. That is half the battle. That is your Shakti energy, is being able to receive. And Shiva is the giving, the doing, right? So you need to find balance between those two. So don't be so receptive that like you're not. So, okay, take me for example, right? I know that I want to be a wife and a mother. I know that. So I have created a landing pad for those opportunities to come into my life. And in the meantime, I'm living my life as I would as though the person I want is already here with me. And I feel his energy here all the time. He's in my dreams. So I'm like, really the only thing that's missing is 3D him. And I can just conjure up a little memory and laugh my ass off if I want to, because I have so many of those banked in my head. He tells me the best fucking stories. There's no one like him. So I think these are just affirmations. I'm going to read them. Divine love is manifesting in me, through me, and around me. It attracts all that I need for the benefit of my soul. As I work to increase my inner light, I evolve into an emanation of love and joy. Today, I reap and welcome the happiness and beauty of all that I have sown. So it is about counting, like worrying more about the seeds that you're sowing rather than what you're reaping. When I get in that mindset, when I sit there and I'm like, why is this man not here? Why is this man not here? Why am I not with him? Why am I not doing life with him? Then I get very like, oh my god, like I'm not reaping any seeds today. But if I wake up and I put in a good days, sometimes I do multiple days of work in one day, but put in a good day's work and, you know, eat some nutritious food and like spend time with my animals and like spend time outside and do something nice for myself, then I am sowing seeds. that will just be blooming when my beautiful garden is blooming around me. I'm in my fucking Queen of Pentacles with all of this abundance around me, and I have this landing pad waiting for my prince to come, my king, whatever you want to call him, whatever, who cares. Unity, right? So within yourself, the masculine and feminine, but also between you and another. Like, if someone is trying to connect with you, don't use that as like an opportunity to like build up fear, like how that woman did. Like, King Henry's helping her with whatever, and then she maybe was like, oh, I can connect with this man through like complaining about the negativities in the world, or like what I perceive as the negativities in the world. But that just like put more division, you know? Like, she could have just been like, oh my god, thank you, young man, like, you're so handsome, I hope you have a great life, and then he would have went off and married me. You know what I mean? Like, it could all be so simple. So this says, today I bring my attention into the present moment where I become one with my inner light. As I make this conscious connection, I find myself centered in my heart and begin to glow with my own divinity. Union with my inner light provides me with a wise and stable base from which I can now live every day of my life. Union with your inner light, that is staying dangerous. Because, like, if you think about it, animals don't really get in their feelings. Like, I watch my cats or whatever, and, like, obviously, like, they have personalities, they have feelings, like, they're sensitive beings. I actually think they're, like, extra sensitive. Like, they're different. But anyways, love them. But they don't have that, like, that same sort of, like, humanness that I do. Like, they're not gonna make themselves suffer just to suffer. Whereas sometimes, like, if I feel like suffering, like, I'm just gonna suffer. Why? There's a whole parking lot here. Why is this person like pulling up right beside me? Okay. I don't know if you guys can hear the wind outside. I hope that's not too loud, but it's very windy here today. Awareness, again, that is staying dangerous. I open my consciousness to my true self. I understand that I am here to grow, to free myself from conflict, and discover who I really am. The collective is in its 5 of Wands right now. Everyone is very conflicty. People are just, they're looking for reasons to argue. Today I realize illusion and the limitations of the material world in order to elevate my being towards the eternal light. I grow stronger and stronger as I explore the wonderful being that I am. So, like, don't get too lost and, like, caught up in, like, all the bullshit that's going on. Like, all you can do about any of that, really, is, like, take care of yourself. And make sure you have a full cup to pour from. Because, like, the revolution, we're in the middle of it, right? And a lot of you are just getting lost, again, in the soft bodies of your flesh, binge-watching Netflix. You're watching Season 8 of Love is Blind on Netflix, and you have no love in your own heart. That's crazy. We have appreciation. So, I am grateful for the abundance in my life. As I direct my thoughts towards all that is wonderful in my world, my troubles and worries lighten. With a full heart, I appreciate all that I have. Today, I accept what is as it is and choose to be satisfied. I express my loving thanks to the universe for the wealth that is mine. So you have to be able to find wealth, even if you feel like you have none. Like, this time last year, so I was living in my own apartment. So yes, I had my own space, but I was paying so much fucking money that, like, I couldn't even just afford to go get a coffee if I wanted to. Whereas now, like, I've structured my life in such a way that, like, I'm a free woman. I am very free. I love my life. My life is so beautiful, and I appreciate everything that's in it. But I had to start by literally writing down 3 things I was grateful for every single day when I felt like I really had nothing to be grateful for, when my brain was working against me. Because I need to make a whole video about this one day too, but, like, I don't think a lot of people understand, like, when my brain is not working for me, it is not good. Like, I get intrusive thoughts used to fuck my day up. And, like, I could literally talk about how, like, I've taken myself to the hospital before. Like, I was almost put in the loony bin because of how the voices in my head were not good. So I had to start, again, showing gratitude. I had to show up. I had to do the work. I had to heal. I had to feel safe. I never felt safe. I had to create a safe space within myself. And then I had to build from there. You have to trust the process. Okay, so know that you are the light. Today the light is within me, the light surrounds me, the light protects me. I remain light-filled and joyful regardless of what circumstances arise. I am a diamond shining forth in all my splendor. I am worthy of the divine within me. So even in my meeting with, like, my writers, I was saying, you know, like, there's a lot of rage bait on the internet today, and even, like, sometimes in their writing, like, it can come across like their political biases and stuff. And I'm like, okay, we can't, this isn't cool, you guys. Like, so what I told them, I was like, diversify your news sources. Like, you know, if you typically are like a CNN person, go read a few articles on Fox. Like, get more perspective. If you only watch YouTube videos of women, like, subscribe to a few men. You know what I mean? Like, just go on the opposite side and see, like, understand another person's perspective. And then when you can see the light in you, then it's easier to recognize it in another. But if you can't see the light in you, then like you're gonna be fearful and afraid of others. But the more you understand about yourself, the more you understand about the world. So the last card, again, searching within. What I see outside myself is simply a mirror of my inner self. Today, I empower myself by looking past outer conditions and searching within for the source of difficulty in my life. My inner wisdom will always help me face life's challenges. It provides my best answers and my greatest healing. As I study myself, I am transformed. That really feels like a beautiful place to end this. I feel like I got everything I wanted to say out of here very eloquently. Well, not my brain was all over the place, but if you took anything from this video, I'm happy, and if not, I'm sure I'm gonna get so many gems when I watch it back. This was fun. I like whatever energy I'm in today. I'm gonna go forth and have a great day. I brought some tarot decks too, but we didn't even tap into those, and I don't think we need to. I think the oracles were enough for today. So have a good weekend. I'm gonna be back tomorrow. I think I know who we're gonna talk about for Angels Among Us, and it is a woman. It's Meghan Markle. I really like her. I feel like we're gonna talk about Meghan Markle. Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow.